This is Canary Quilts, and we are in month 3 of the 2024 Fat Quarter Shop Designer Mystery Block of the Month. And I always call these my comfort blocks because I just really enjoy doing them each month. They're not too hard, they're not too easy. The colors are always very comforting. I really look forward to them. This week, I would say we didn't get a comfort block, we got a fun block. It's like putting a puzzle together. It's not hard, but it is like a puzzle. So this is what our block looks like. It's called Feather Your Nest, and it was designed by Pickens. And I will have her information in the description down below. And I was really excited when I opened this. It's a little bit different. We usually do kind of traditional type blocks or flowers or, things like that. So when I saw this bird, I was really excited. And when I started putting it together, it was exciting because it is just like putting a puzzle together. So if you're not familiar with this is something Fat Quarter Shop does every year. It's a 12-month block of the month. You get the fabrics and the pattern each month. Plus you can buy the finishing kit, which I did. The finishing kit is what is around the block here. And I put my first row together. So I did 2 flowers. So the first of 4 rows are together and it is going to be gorgeous. I love it. So what I'm going to do is just kind of walk through how I organize myself for the bird. And that's about it. Then I finish it out and show you what it looks like. And it's really, really fun. So let me know what you think of this month's block. Let me know how it's going for you. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and you'll get notified of all the fun stuff we got going on here. And yeah, let's get started on this really fun block this month. Who else was excited when we opened up block 3 of the 2024 Designer Mystery Block of the Month? It's always a bird. It's called Feather Your Nest. It was designed this month by Pickens at robinpickensinc.com. I will have her information in the description down below if you want to check out anything else that she does. So yeah, I was really excited to see this block. Instead of having like traditional blocks or flowers or something, we have a bird. These are the fabrics we got. If you're new to this and you've never seen it before, this is a Fat Quarter Shop Block of the Month they do every year. This is the kit we get each month, and these are the fabrics. And as you can see, you get plenty of fabrics in your Block of the Month kit here. So I've done it for the past 2 years and I need to find a use for all my leftover fabrics. So this is going to be a puzzle. There is pretty much one of each of these except for like a couple of letters here. So it will be just a puzzle putting this together. And in looking ahead in the pattern, it looks like we're going to put together the tail section, and then the wing section, and then the head of the bird, and then the beak. And then we'll put together the nest, or perch, or whatever you want to call it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my best to separate my pieces into each section that I'm going to need, so I'm not digging through them looking. And then that will help me get organized that way. All right, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm really excited. So this is what I've done. I've organized these per the section that we're going to put it together. So this first section right here is right before the wing. It's this entire corner right here. So that's the pieces I need for that corner. So there's J's in here. And I'm going to need J's over here. So as soon as I'm done with the first section, I'll move my J's over. And then the second section is the wing and the body right here, which I have there. Third section is the head before you get to the beak right here. And that's what I need here. I do need a C from here, but as soon as I'm done here, I'll bring it over, and J's. So the J will just keep jumping. And then the beak section is right here. Plus I need 2 G's for the basket. So as I finish each section and I have some J's left over, it's going to keep moving over, and that's how I'm going to do it, so that I'm not searching through all these pieces. So I'm going to start from the tail. That's where they start, and we're going to move this way. So let's get started. To get started on the tail, we need A and L, M and E to start with. And for A and L, you're going to put it down here. You're going to put the L down in the bottom left-hand corner of A, and we're going to sew right on the line, diagonal line right here. I'm just going to mark it so we know what we're talking about. There's only one piece. There we go. We're going to sew on this line. Trim 1/4 inch and iron towards the corner. M and E is going to be pretty much the same thing. It's going to be oriented like this. E is going to go on the bottom. And we're also going to sew on this diagonal. Trim 1/4 inch from your seam and iron this one towards the corner. Here's this piece done. This piece just needs a J at the bottom. And I'm going to put this in the next section we're going to be working on. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to put it down here in this red corner and sew on the diagonal line. Trim 1/4 inch from your seam and iron towards this corner. So we need to lay this out like this. We're going to take our B, and that's going to go right here. So we're going to sew these two together, iron towards the B, and then we'll attach it here and we'll iron it open. And that's our tail feather. There's our tail section finished up. So now we're going to move on to the wing and the body. Pull in those pieces. Push this out of the way. We don't need that anymore. These are the pieces we need for the wing and the body. We want to take our P and we want to take a C, and we only need one C, so I'm going to move that to the next section over here. And we want to add the C to the top of our P, and we are going to sew a diagonal again right there, and sew on the line. Trim 1/4 inch from the seam, but this time we're going to iron towards the P or the pink fabric. Right, there we go. There's that section. Now we want to take an O and we're going to put it down here, and we are again going to be sewing on the diagonal. So sew on the line, trim 1/4 inch from the seam, and then we'll iron towards the corner. The last thing we're going to do is take our N, and we're just going to put it at the bottom. So this is going to get ironed towards the bottom end piece. There we go. There's the wing. It's going to go just like that when we start putting it together. All right. Next up is the head of the bird. Let me grab these pieces. These are the pieces we need for this one. And the first thing we want to do is take our K and 2 J's. I'm going to take this one and move it to the next section. And these are going to go in the upper right and upper left hand corner. This is going to round off the bird's head. And again, we are sewing on the diagonal. So, oops, don't want to cut yet. Sew on the diagonal like that and like this. We are going to sew on that line, trim 1/4 inch from that seam, and then we are going to be ironing towards the corner on the left side, but towards the body on the right side. There's my 2 J's on top. We want to take our last C, and we're going to put it on the bottom. And again, we're going to be sewing on the diagonal, but it is going to be this way. So Once again, sew on the line, trim 1/4 inch from your seam, and iron towards the bird body, which is the red. There we go. There is our little bird head. So now we're going to take D and we're just going to put it at the top here. And then our head section will be complete. We're going to iron towards the top light color here, the D part. And there's the head of our bird. So that's what it's going to look like when we start putting it together. Now we just have to give her a little beak. So we want to take our Q, which is just one pink, our last J. We're going to put them right sides together. We're going to sew on the diagonal, and this is not a half square triangle. We are going to sew on the line, trim 1/4 inch on one side, and then iron towards the dark, the pink. There's my seam. Now we want to just trim 1/4 inch over here, and we get rid of this piece. So then when we open it, we do get a half square triangle, but only one. So I'm going to iron towards the pink. Next part's easy. We're going to take 2 of our G's, and then I'm going to put the other 2 in with the basket or nest or pedestal. And we want to, do this. We want to put it together like this so that the beak ends up like that. Let's see. No, the beak's going to end up in the center like that. So that's how you want to orient your beak. We're going to sew these 3 pieces together and iron towards the G pieces. That's our bird. So we're going to put these 4 sections together and we are going to iron our pieces open. There's my bird. That is super cool. So now is for the bottom. I'm calling it a basket. The R just is on its own. It's going to go on the top here right underneath the bird. Then we're going to take our S and pair it with I, our T, pair it with H, U, pair with G, and V, pair with F. Now these are going to go on every single one of these. These are going to go on each side. We're going to sew them on, and we're always going to iron towards the middle piece. So I'm going to get all of these done. Actually, when we get these done, we're just going to start sewing them together from longest to shortest. And then we're going to iron them all towards the long piece here. So I'm just going to get that done. That's pretty easy. And then we'll have our bird block ready to go. It's exciting. There's my pieces. So now we're just going to build them from longest green piece to shortest green piece, putting our strips together, and then we'll always be ironing towards the longer green strip. Here's my 2 pieces ready to put together, and we're just going to put them together right here, and we're going to iron towards the basket. One thing I like about this pattern is the way she had us iron our seams. I mean, at first you think it's weird you're ironing this seam towards that, and then this seam towards the bird, this seam towards the bird, but you know what it gives? It kind of gives you that dimension that's rounding this way in the front of the bird, and then this is going behind the feather. And then the basket is all ironed towards the longest one, so it feels like it's kind of rounded, like it's going down to this point down here. And then when we put this on, we're going to iron towards the basket, which will make it look like the bird is sitting behind it. So I just like the way that she had us iron seams. Sometimes you're ironing seams for nesting or to make it flatter, but I really think she had us do this for dimension too. So there we go. I'm going to get this put together, and then I'm going to actually finish it out. There's my finished block. I finished it out, and I put the first row together, which you saw in the beginning. So I did my flowers. I only did 2 for the row, and they didn't take very long at all. So yeah, I'm liking it a lot. It is really going to be a pretty quilt. There you go. That's block 3, designed by Robin Pickens this month of the 2024 Designer Mystery Block of the Month. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and notification bell, and you will get notified of all of this content and all the other fun content we got going on. I have links down below if this is still available, if you want to check it out. And I really appreciate you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.